Good morning. How's everybody? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I'm going to give it a minute for Facebook to build the audience and for some folks to hop in here before I do this very quick live. It will not be an hour long live today, I promise. Just a couple things that I want to share with you, a couple things that I want to point out. And I'll give you a couple of reasons for this live this morning. So as most of you all know, good morning, Jason. How you doing? You doing okay this morning? Hey, Paschal, how are you? Good morning. Hey, Megan. Hey, how are you, hon? You good? So as most of you all know, I'm biracial, and so last night I was on the phone and I was talking to my uncle, who's my mom's brother, who's white, and he's in his hey, good morning, Kimberly. He's in his late 60s. No, actually, he's in his later mid to late 70s, right? Good morning, Tyler. Good morning, Melissa. And so I'm talking to them last night. And of course, I'm in Charlotte, so they're asking me questions. And God love them. It was such an interesting conversation because at one point he said, why don't you guys just ask them? Why don't they use tasers? I said, well, we've asked. It's not really that simple. But I'm doing this live really quickly just to say, dear white friends and family, okay, during this time, I know that some people mean well when you say things, right? I know that sometimes what you're trying to do is point out the positive or to offer some a different perspective or some insight or something like that. Okay, don't don't because here's what happens when someone of color is expressing their experience and the experience of black people in America, particularly when it comes to the police and racism and excessive use of force or brutality or murder in some cases, when someone is expressing that to you, if you say anything other than, okay, I accept that, I understand that, or I'll try to understand that, if you come back with anything that somehow contradicts, negates, minimizes what's being said to you, you are part of the problem and you will irritate, possibly anger, definitely disappoint, and maybe even hurt the people that are sharing with you. Do you understand? Hey, good morning, Sent. And this is important for people to know. Good morning, Randall. And so you have to understand that, like, for example, this morning I'm reading my friend Dorian down in Myrtle Beach. He put up a status, and his status simply said something to the effect of, good morning, this is my experience. I wake up every day. I pray more because, I live in fear. And and somebody commented and said, we live in the same area, we travel the same roads, we see the same people, basically speaking, we obey the same laws. Why must you live in more fear than I am? And Dorian replied and said, well, I wake up every day and there's good morning, Blue Picasso. He said, I wake up every day and there's another story of a black man being killed. And he says the whole point of the news is to he actually says, he responds back basically saying that the media's role is to keep racial tensions alive. That's what he says, right? And my response to that is this. Does the media have an agenda? Of course they do. Do they sensationalize things? Yes. Like if you are watching the news, you probably think that Charlotte is in shambles when in reality, there's a few businesses. Good morning, Jeff. There's a few businesses with broken windows, and that's about the extent of it. But if you watch the news, you would think that Charlotte is like almost Syria. You know what I mean? Because that's the media. That's what they do. But I don't need the media to tell me that America has racial problems. I don't need the media to tell me that unarmed black men are being killed at a disparaging rate and at an alarming rate. We just had another one yesterday in California. And So whatever the media is doing, does that negate or minimize the experience? It doesn't. And what you guys have to understand is that even if you're coming from a good place, even if you are just trying to shine some light or to, good morning, Tatiana, even if you're just trying to give a positive spin on things, don't do that. Because what it does is you're basically negating the experience, right? It's like someone saying to you, I just found out I have cancer and I'm going through chemo and my hair is falling out. And you're like, yeah, but at least the cancer is not growing at the moment. Or at least, your blood pressure is okay. What? Like, don't do it. And it's not that some people it will anger. Like, I can hear it sometimes and I can understand, and maybe that's because I am, biracial. Maybe that's why I have a little bit more tolerance for it, because I can get it and I understand where it comes from. But good morning, Shayla. But you have to understand that you can't right now either listen or and don't say anything, or listen and just get in. Does that am I making sense? Are you guys that are in here, am I making sense in what I'm saying? Because it's like devaluing our experience. You're taking away what we're telling you, as if somehow what we're saying to you isn't exactly true. I'm going to tell you what made a difference. I'm talking to my uncle last night, who I love dearly, and we're talking about what's happening here in Charlotte, and I'm explaining to him what's happening here, and he said he got it, but kind of didn't get it until I said to him, Dorian, I was just talking about you, but until I said to him, I said, listen, Uncle Norv, I have experienced it myself. When I told him about the time that I was pulled over at 1:30 in the morning, and this is the true story. I was pulled over in South Charlotte about, I don't know, several years ago, and I was coming home from Wine Up, and it was like 1:30 in the morning, and the cop pulled me over and asked for my license and my registration, which I gave him. And while he's looking at it, I asked him why I was being pulled over, because I wasn't speeding. There was no other cars on the road. And he said to me, the little frame that goes around your license plate? He said to me, this was in August, he said to me that in October, they might be passing a law that made that frame illegal because it kind of covered up the registration sticker on the license plate. And I said, wait a minute, you pulled me over about a law that might be passed in a few months. And he said, I'm just going to give you a warning. And he wrote some shit on a piece of paper that didn't mean anything, but that's what he gave it to me. And so when I told that story to my uncle last night, he was like, wow. And that's what made a difference, because I'm somebody he loves. I'm somebody he trusts. I'm somebody that he knows. And so when I tell him that experience, he's going to believe it. Yes, girl, I said might be past tense. I said might. But that's what makes the difference. So what I'm saying is, especially during this time, the only thing that most of us need you to do or want you to do is listen and just accept our reality. If you say anything that minimizes it, that diminishes it, that makes it seem like it's not valid, don't point out the good. Yes, Randall, there was a personal connection, therefore he believed the story. So this is what I'm saying to you, is you can't during this time, because you will potentially hurt a relationship that means something to you. And so I'm going to ask you to open your hearts, open your ears, and hear and just accept that this is a reality, right? Is every shooting of an African American unjustified? No. But if you take, so I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of information. So in San Francisco right now, right, Jason, listen to understand, not respond. So listen, so San Francisco, the police department in San Francisco now has 12 cases of police officers that are being investigated for racial text messages like F that nigger, da 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 da, all of that. Did you hear me? 12. And the racism was discovered because the officers were being investigated for other things. And in going through phone records, that's what they found. Okay? So that's a problem. That's a huge problem. This is the same city where Mario Woods was stabbed and killed because he had a knife, right? Sorry, he was shot 20 times holding a knife. Now, you and I both know this, right? Like you can't get to somebody with a knife before they shoot you, right? So beanbag would have been enough. Tasers would have been enough. Tasers will make you drop a knife, right? But they shot him 20 times. We have a problem. We have a problem in LA when 4 or 5 officers fire 107 bullets into the truck without even confirming the identity of the people inside of it, and there are no charges being brought against them. This is a reality. I don't need the media to tell me that that's a problem. So what I'm saying to you, white friends and family, this morning, right, is listen, exactly what Jason said, listen to understand, not to respond. Don't provide anything that you think, even if you mean it from a good place, like you're just trying to kind of de-escalate or make us realize, well, there is some good. We know that there's good. We know that not all white people are racist, right? Right, Megan, that's it. Right, that's it. That's what people want. People want to know that you're listening. We want to know that you feel us. We want to know that the way that I equate this, having been the victim of rape, right? Sometimes we just want someone to say, I believe you. Even if I can't understand it, even if I don't know what happened, if that is your reality, then that is your reality, and I believe you, and I want something different from you. And so I think that that's the way that we feel. And so what I'm saying to you is you can't try to paint sunshine on it. Don't do that. Don't point out the fact that we have a black president. Don't point out the fact that we've been able to vote, or we're integrated, or we've come so far. Don't do that, because as far as we've come, we still have black people dying in the street completely unarmed. The man that was killed yesterday had no weapon. No weapon. He was behaving erratically, and he had his hands in his pockets. Now check this out. His sister is the person who called the police. She called them to help him because he had what she says is a mental disorder of some kind. And she called because she couldn't get him to stop walking out in front of traffic. So there was something wrong with this gentleman, and instead of helping them, they murdered him yesterday. That's a problem. And so what we need you to do, you're welcome, Dorian. What we need you to do is just listen to understand. Even if you don't understand, just listen. And if you can't co-sign, if there's some part of you that still doesn't understand that it's the reality, if you don't have a strong enough personal connection to be able to say, I receive that, I accept that, and I'm with you, and we need to do something about this, whatever you do, don't minimize it. Don't share anything that you think is positive. Don't do anything that takes away from the pain of our experience, because it's our experience. And so I will say that definitively. The only other piece that I'll throw in there is we need to also remember not to do that amongst ourselves. So if you are black, but you're of a different socioeconomic class, and maybe this hasn't been your experience, and maybe somehow you've avoided it, right? I need you to shut up too. I need for us to allow each other to be, our opinions and our experiences to be of value, right? And we need to try to connect, and you need to try to understand and hear what we're saying. So that's the only message that I have today, is whatever you do, don't diminish, don't devalue, don't take away from what we're trying to share. Not even if you're doing it from a good place. Not even if you're just trying to kind of say, oh my God, but we have some good too. We know that we have good. We know that we have good. We know that we've come far. We know, but guys, as far as we've come, we've gone nowhere. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like going in a damn circle. So I just want you to understand that those are the things that we need from you, and those are the things that we don't need from you, right? So listen to understand. Love you too, Lavinia. We need you to listen to understand, not to respond. We need you to not negate what we're saying or diminish it or devalue it. We need you to not be a ray of damn sunshine. And I know that's hard for some white people. Like, I don't know if y'all have friends like that, but I have white friends that are just so damn cheery that it's amazing. But there are times when we do not need you to be a ray of sunshine. And right now is one of them. Right now, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm still sick. But right now, that's what we need you to not do. because it just makes it worse. It makes us feel misunderstood. It makes us feel not heard. And that's a lot of what I see right now. People want to be heard. Okay. And when you do that, it's like you don't hear us. When you do that, it's like we're talking and for no reason. It's frustrating. And so it just makes it worse. So those are the things that I would say to my white friends and my friends, my family, and in my case, my family, because your experience is different. You don't know. I truly believe that there are that right, Jackie, that's my cousin, y'all. But I truly believe you're just so removed from the experience that you don't know. Right. I know you do. I know you do. Along came a spider. I know. So that's the message that I have for you all this morning, and hopefully you can receive that from the place that it's coming from. I get the fact that you don't know. Here's what I would say is before you offer sunshine, before you offer something that might belittle or diminish the experience, ask questions. Yes, Megan, it adds to the feeling of alienation, not being supported. Right, Valoris. That's the point is we do it sometimes even to each other, and we have to not do that. We have to be able to say that whatever. I had the greatest conversation with my aunt a couple of weeks ago when I was coming back from New Bern, and she was talking about when her daughter got old enough for them to be able to kind of cross that thing into friend and mother-daughter. And she was saying, that her daughter was saying to her, these are the things that you did in my childhood, and here's how they affected me. And she said, she was saying things to me that I was going, wait a minute, I don't remember it that way. Or wait a minute, I don't think it was like that. Or wait a minute, this is what I really, she said, but I couldn't say that. She said, this was my daughter's experience. This was my daughter's feelings. And I just had to take it. I just had to take it. Even if I didn't agree with it, even if I didn't get it, I just had to take it because that's her reality. And so what I want you to do, white people, is just take it. Just take it. Don't justify it. Don't try to put sunshine and roses on it. Don't spray perfume on it. You know that old saying, you can't, if you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. Stop putting lipstick on what we're saying, because at the end of the day, it still is what it is. And I don't use that reference to police officers. Don't twist my shit. That's not what I mean. It's actually, I'm from the country, y'all. So that's really what we say. If you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. I am not referring to police. But I'm just saying that that's something that we don't need you to do in these circumstances. Don't try to make it better. Just listen. Just listen. Try to understand. Don't respond in terms of shedding light or trying to make it seem better. If you have to do anything at all, if you don't clearly understand, ask questions. Ask us, and we will share more patiently than you believe. But because we want you to understand, right? We want you to understand. Don't alienate us further. Don't do that, because it won't be productive. And so that's my piece of advice for the day. I'm going to try to give shorter lives because people don't have an hour out of their life to watch this. So that's all I got to say. I got work to do. You guys be amazing. Be light, be love, be kind to one another. Be praying for I can't say the name of the city, El Cajon, because I'm country. I think it's El Cajon. Thank you, Dorian. So are you. Right, Valoris. I keep saying this. Just feel what we're saying. Even if you can't comprehend the words, just feel what we're saying as people, and just try to put yourself in our shoes as to what that experience would be like. The other day, I haven't even told anybody about this, but the other day when we had done hugs and I had been out all night, but no, before this, the day before, have I, Melissa? So I've been in the shower with you. So the other day, thank you, Michelle, I was driving over to my friend Andrea's house, and I had Dominic in the back of the car with me, and it was Saturday, and it was around 9:30 at night, and I had forgotten in my hurry to get out of the house that morning, I had forgotten to put my contacts in. and I was going by my GPS, and so I couldn't see the turn to her apartments, and my GPS took me in from the opposite direction, and it made me nervous. And I got down, and I had gone too far, and I pulled in, and I pulled over into this other apartment community, pulled over to the side, and I was calling her to get directions, and I noticed across the street there was like a security truck there that was just sitting there with its lights turned off. And I thought, God, I hope they know that I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just lost. And so I'm on my phone with her. And at the time that I'm on the phone with her and I'm calling her, true story, you can ask her, 3 cop cruisers just came like boom, 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 all pulling into right behind where I was. I was terrified. I literally said to her, 3 cop cruisers just got here. Where are you? I'm leaving. I pulled out, still not knowing where the hell I was going. You would think that I would feel safe enough to ask the security person or the police officer, hey, I'm looking for this neighborhood. I didn't. It terrified me that they pulled up because I thought they thought I was doing something wrong. And I drove all the way back up the street and pulled into another neighborhood. And she literally had to walk out of her apartment and come down to the main road to talk me in. It's sad to say, but that's my reaction. It really is. And you can't belittle it. You can't devalue it. I mean, granted, I have PTSD, so my shit is on hyper alert. But I'm just saying, do not take away from our experience. Don't do that. Just listen. Just listen. That's it. It's a true story, Sent. So I'm just saying, just listen. Don't try to be a ray of sunshine. Right now is not the time for sunshine. It's just not. It's just not. You figure the week before Keith Scott was Terrence Crutcher. I believe between Terrence Crutcher and Keith Scott, there was a teenager that was also murdered by the police. Then you have the gentleman yesterday, and they have not released his name yet because they want to make sure the family is notified. So we're talking about in the course of 2 weeks, four unarmed or 4 non-threatening, if you want to debate about a gun, 4 non-threatening African-American men are dead, all at the hands of police. So before I end this, I want to give you all some valuable information, okay? I'm all about some information. So I've been looking up some stuff, and I want to kind of share it with you, okay? So give me 2 seconds. When we talk about the police, while the violent crime rate in this country is going down, the number of deaths by police officers is actually going up, which is crazy, but it's true, just so you know. I'm going to turn around and give you a little little bit of information, okay? So police in the U.S. kill citizens at over 70 times rate of other first world nations. Do you all see that? This is a true story. I need you to kind of understand what's happening. And if you look this stuff up, Iceland has only killed 1 person in 71 years. 71 years they've killed 1. This is definitely not the case here. So England and Wales, in 24 years, they've killed 55 people. We've killed 59 people the first 24 days of 2015. Our police have. In Iceland, 1 person in 71 years. In Stockton, California, 3 fatal police shootings in the first 5 months of 2015. That's 1 city. It's 1 city. Do y'all see this? Germany, 15 people in 2 years. The U.S., 19 unarmed black men fatally shot in the first 5 months of last year. In Australia, 94 fatal police shootings between 92 and 2011. In the U.S., 97 fatal police shootings just in 1 month in March of 2015. Canada, 25 fatal police shootings in 1 year. California, 72 fatal police shootings in 1 year. We have a problem in this country. We have police brutality. We have a problem in this country with police shootings, police fatality as a result of police shootings. We have a definitive problem. It is not that there's a need for this. Violent crime is going down in this country. Violent crime by police officers, because that's what murder is. It's a crime. I don't care if you're a policeman or not, is going up in this country. There's a problem. The system is broken. The training is broken. The therapy for these guys, the psychological profiles, it's broken. This is a reality. Don't pretend like this isn't there. This is here. So don't minimize us. Don't devalue what we're saying. Don't take away from our experience. When you have 12 officers in San Francisco that are all under investigation, I don't know if I still have the stuff pulled up, but there are 12 officers in San Francisco that are under investigation right now because there are text messages that say F that nigger, F the Indians, they're dirty, and all this other stuff. These are like legitimate text messages from real police officers on one police force. And it was uncovered by mistake. 12 of them. We have a problem. So I'm just saying to you, ask questions if you want answers. Listen to understand, not to respond. Don't be a ray of sunshine. I know, Melissa, I'm going. Don't be a ray of sunshine. Don't do that. And don't discount what we're saying. That's it. That's my message for today. I got to go. I know. I could go because the more I dig, the more I find, and then I want to share. So I'm done digging and sharing for today. I got work to do. Be amazing, be light, be loved, be kind to one another, be supportive of someone today. Listen to each other. Validate. Give us some validation. That's what we want. We want to feel heard. Don't alienate us, right? Don't do that because you're our friends and our family, and we want that to continue to be so. We need that more than ever. Does that make sense? So anyway, I'm going to go. You guys take care of yourselves and have an amazing day. Bye.